Okay. And there's a question. Since we were talking about property and buying a property, renting a house or buying a house, which is more economical? What do you suggest?
This again is a question. I'll tell you personally, I love renting a house. There's so many people who have invested so much money in buying such beautiful houses. Someone needs to enjoy them, right? So I believe in renting. But yeah, buying a house is a very emotional issue, right? If I talk to my family, they are very clear. They want their own house. Okay, that will be their place which they can decorate and put stuff as per their wishes. They don't have to worry about moving out here and there. In fact, even today I hear there's so many things they can't do because what, it's a rented house. Why should we do it? So there's a lot of this emotional angle to buying a house. So if you're one of those who thinks they're going to settle down and buying a house makes sense and that's what will give you internal security and comfort, emotional security and comfort, please go ahead and buy it. But for rest of the others, I think renting will make, financially at least, renting will make a lot more sense. You can look for a lot of blogs on this specific idea. I've written one, many others advisors also, and just type it out in Google and you will see a huge list of links.
Yeah, these days the kind of articles we are reading, and I've read your article also on that. We are reading a couple of articles on renting than buying a house.
See, financially, will always India has a residential yield, which means if you make a property investment of a residential property investment, the rent you receive will be roughly 1 to 2% of the value. I mean, why would you deploy your money to earn such a measly return?
Right. So Vipin, I have one question coming up in my mind now. That how financial well-being, or for that matter, any kind of a well-being, well-being being the new buzzword or the new word, every industry or for that matter, any organization is talking about. And all these wellness programs, how all these wellness programs are going to benefit in terms of cost? So is it an extra cost to the organization? Is it going to head another expense to their balance sheet? How is it going to impact an organization?
See, I think a brief while ago we discussed that in the context of how work has changed over the past year, I think HR has an opportunity to realign a lot of their costs. Okay, take a line item like rewards and recognition, right? A lot of rewards and recognition was happening physically. I think this can now move to an option like this, where employees are provided a facility to engage with the wellness options, overall well-being or financial well-being. That's very possible. Having said that, let me give you two instances, where HR needs to really think a little more boldly than what they are thinking. 20 years ago, banks used to think, we should put ATMs or not, right? Can you imagine a bank doing that, thinking about that today? It's a default. You need to have ATMs, right? That's what helps the business. Many years ago, let's say a decade ago also, people were thinking, who's going to spend money on mobiles, right? We now change phone every 2-3 years. The budget has suddenly appeared because it makes us overall very, very productive. I think it's the same approach HR needs to take on an aspect like this.
So you mean to say it will improve the productivity in a longer run?
I'm saying it will do that in a multifold way. Okay. I mean, if I were to give a very simple explanation or example here, if you were to spend 10,000 rupees a year on an employee, okay, on the wellness thing, would it be very difficult to assume a 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees additional productivity or additional return, or saving in cost because he's not going away soon?
Yeah, that attrition becomes a critical piece over here then.
Yeah. I think that's how they need to think.
So from an organization per se, they need to think about the productivity and attrition with respect to the financial budget, what they're offering to the employee.
Yes.
Right, correct. Okay, so right now, and here is MonAmI on Teams. As I said, MonAmI is available on Teams. While a user went to the team and say hi to MonAmI, you will see the features of MonAmI over here. When See, I'm Priyanka, and generally I speak to MonAmI with the name as Priya. So MonAmI first thing asks is about how am I feeling. When I say I'm good, MonAmI talks about since you're feeling good, you're in a positive mood right now. Let's go and see something what you want to do. So I'm setting up a goal for myself, and since we are talking about financial wellness today, let's see what is there for me, the financial wellness piece of MonAmI. So there are about a couple of questions here to understand my financial wellness better. MonAmI is going to assess me, and we will see some questions. How am I managing my finances? Based on the answers I gave to MonAmI, MonAmI will suggest me some options. There is a budget tool, as Vipin was suggesting us that everybody should have a budget in place. So MonAmI also suggests about a budget. The user can see the budget tool over there. And once you have your budget in place, or you think that you are actually managing your finances very well, you don't need a budget, or you need expert advice. So you can connect to an expert also through MonAmI. So this is how MonAmI helps user.
Budgeting plan.
Yeah, you can see, listen to it now.
This is the tool. When you click on this link, you will be taken to the tool. If you want to set up some alerts, you can do that too. To use MonAmI, you can visit us on www.monami.coach or WhatsApp us on this.
So this is the WhatsApp number wherein you just have to go and say hi, and you're good to go. With that, we would like to end this meeting. Thank you, Vipin. Thank you, everyone, for being there with us today. It was a very nice discussion, Vipin. Thank you for your time. Thanks, you, everyone. Bye-bye.